doesn't have arts anymore. What are we going to do? But people need to step up and do what you're doing.
We go in there.
Yeah, we need to go in so that it does not die.
Yeah.
I have a friend who, she goes into the prisons and yeah, I mean, she does. She goes into the
It
prison
was
and talks
showing
to
that you
young
were
women.
off there, by the way.
Yeah.
I see you back.
I'm sorry, sir.
I said it was showing that you were off air, but I see you back.
Yeah, we're back,
You
Tony.
said-
Go ahead. Yeah, we're back.
We're back. We're back.
Our Ustream went down for temporarily for a couple of seconds, and the staff of LA Talk Live is always on top of it.
On top of it.
Professor
Oh yeah,
came
I
in
see
here
them
and made it.
give the thumbs up.
Yeah.
They made it happen. They made it happen. But yeah, I think what you guys are doing with stepping out and causing movement, educating people and making them conscious that there is something lacking, because then we can go in and change some things. The kids can be hungry
Yeah.
for something new, because right now they don't even know there is anything out
They
there.
don't know.
So we have to show
Yeah.
them,
Right.
like any other thing, we can
Right.
show them something negative and they become hungry for it.
Right.
So why not we brainwash them in the sense of something positive and they begin to crave it.
Dr. Coleman, one of the things he talked about was he was saying he always gives illustrations, right? He's talking about a kid. He was talking about a kid that was in school that didn't know how to do fractions, right? And he was like, because of multi-intelligence, the practice of multi-intelligence, or what they call African spiritual science, what we used to teach, right? He was saying, okay, and then the teacher would be like, you're failed, and you would get failed, right? You'll fail you. But Dr. Coleman comes and says, okay, well, she doesn't know fractions, but she put her headphones on and starts singing Alicia Keys, right? So once you start understanding, okay, music is math, and then you start doing 4/4, and then you start doing all the rhythmic aspects of it, that there it is right there is more practical. Now, how do you make it relate? Right? Because there are people who learn differently. You just can't force and shove learning or certain kind of learning down somebody's, that's coded in their DNA.
Yeah.
That, this
You have
is
to
how.
find a method.
Right. So that's why
Right.
they call spiritual science or, multi-intelligence. When Dr. Coleman comes in, if we are able to have him, he talks about this in a way that he puts it in a practical perspective that, look, if you think your kid is failing something, right? Okay, you're not giving them the full experience. Right? A lot of people, if a kid is failing, you're bad. You need to sit here and buckle down, blah, 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 and learn this stuff. Instead of finding out what they do the best.
How does your kid learn?
What their niche is. What the niche.
Yeah.
I think you, Life, and I can probably relate to that, being artists. That school, it was different for most of us artist types.
Yeah.
And it was tailored for a different kind, because we're creative.
I had dyslexia growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't know until I went to college.
Right.
Yeah, what happens is the reason we teach children this is because they are all on the fast track to corporate America.
Right.
And if your kid is not,
There you go.
yeah, and parents who do not have an entrepreneurial spirit are thinking, my kid get ahead, corporate America. And the only way a child is going to get ahead, because of the way the system is set up, is to go through the corporate ladder, which that is the educational system that has been placed now, that we know of as the educational system. But I think in the same way,
Good
we're
point.
talking about a new way of teaching these kids, but what's going to have to be taught is entrepreneurialism, because if we do not teach that,
every day.
this kid's going to learn and be great, but they're not going to have a job.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very important for this to be twofold. It's like, yes, show them an additional way of doing things, but they also need to know an additional way of making a living and a life, or they will be miserable artists.
Right.
And that's so real. Look, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to have Professor Coleman. We're going to give him, what we can. I know traffic on Friday is terrible. But we're going to go ahead and call in and find out where Professor is. This is a great topic and how this relates to music. Tony, can you stay on the line?
Sure.
Good. So we'll be right back with more Shock Factor here on LA Talk Live. I'm your host, Shaquem Williams,
And I am life.
and we're chilling with Natasha Dixon,
Yes.
Evolution of a Love Addict. She's going to be chilling with us. And we got Tony Love, incredible master, guitarist, musician, producer on the line, writer as well. So we're going to come back with more Shock Factor here on LA Talk Live, reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. Stay tuned for more Shock Factor. We got Dr. Coleman coming up, so stay tuned. We're anticipating the moment.
Yeah.
Right now, this is Life Royalty.
I'm the reason, the rhyme, I'm the life in times, I'm the kick, snare, hi-hat, and keys, I'm the music and soul, the ultimate feel, I'm Africa, Egypt, yes, I'm Israel, now it's a world thing, so I unify, then connect with the world gang, use my voice to hit your heart so I don't have to bang, I just give it to you because he gave it to me, it's my reasonable service to just serve, cause royalty is what it is, I'll be the one to lead my people straight across that bridge. We gon' get it, we gon' have to take it. They gon' give it to us cause they can't deny the place. We holding history, I'm royalty. Royalty is what it is. I'll be the one to lead my people straight across that bridge. We gon' get it, we gon' have to take it. They gon' give it to us cause they can't deny the place. We holding history, we royalty. Just keep telling yourself you royal, man. Just from the inside out, not the outside in. We are heaven and earth, we will plant and birth. We are one with each other, last or first. It's a process, but the enemy cannot test. Cause we connected to something more powerful, blessed. Yes, we are life, cause we're given this life to get something and pass on past our life. If you're with it, go get it. Inspiration, I spit it, cause we need somebody to remind us that we did it, man. Royalty is what it is. I'll be the one to lead my people straight across that bridge. We gon' get it, we gon' have to take it. They gon' give it to us cause they can't deny the place. We holding history, I'm royalty. Royalty is what it is. I'll be the one to lead my people straight across that bridge. We gon' get it, we gon' have to take it. They gon' give it to us cause they can't deny the place. We holding history, we royalty. Royalty is what it is. I'll be the one to lead my
Yeah. You're back to the Shock Factor here on LA Talk Live. I'm your host, Shaquem Williams.
And I am life.
And we're chilling with Natasha Dixon, Evolution of a Love Addict. We got Tony Love on the line.
Tony Love.
Tony Love, you still on the line?
Hey,
Yep. There he is. So look, we're waiting for Professor Dr. Coleman to come on in the building. They're running a little bit late. They have some traffic issues and stuff like that. You know, California is terrible. I really wanted to see him, but you know, we're just gonna wait just a little while longer before we go ahead and close this whole party down. You know, Blessed Friday, I'm gonna call this one.
Yeah.
Blessed Friday. Everything has been going on
We
pretty
doing
good.
it well, though. We doing it well.
Yeah, so welcome back. If you got any more, if you want to go ahead and call in, 323-247-7443 is our studio inline number. We're going to go ahead and wrap it down in a minute as much as we can. So look, we were talking about music, and we were talking about education, and then we're talking about, you know, some music, R&B music is not, you know, not there anymore. Pop music has taken over, which is okay. Pop music is okay, and rock music is okay.
Hip hop rap
You know-
actually is bigger than ever because you'll find some hip hop in it all.
Yeah.
Yes,
Some
fuse.
hip hop and
Hip-hop.
rap in it all.
And
in the
everything
pop,
is-
in the rock in it all.
And everything is kind of fusing together as well, and that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with music fusing together, but this is a total annihilation of a music,
genre.
a genre, sound of music
Yes.
gone. And if anybody doesn't see that or recognize that, but once again we have to take the onus on ourselves, like, because I'm a firm believer in, like, where are these people that's in the music industry giving classes, teaching, giving back? Was it all about the money? I got mine, you know, and then now, you know, the result is what it is. And are we complaining or something? Like, really? You know?
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
Well, I mean, they're just doing what they have to do. They're really under a corporate entity. You understand? So what it's not really much that they can do, although they can.
Yeah, I understand.
You understand?
Mhm.
But they can't being under, the corporate entity. There's some limitations that are there. And then on top of it all, it's really by choice. Because you could choose to do it and suffer whatever consequences you might feel you're going to suffer, you know. But it has to
Thank you.
start somewhere. It's like Tony said, I think the guy's article, we have ourselves to blame because
Right.
we could have made another choice. We could have made the choice to go out here and be proactive and say, you know what? No, I'm gonna get over here and make sure that it doesn't die, it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
You
Like
understand
where
what I'm
was
saying?
where was any of those people?
Yeah.
Like where are the so-called I love the kids? Like you just give them a little bit of
Right.
money and then you
Yeah.
just go along your way and expect somebody else and then everybody's pointing fingers. It's crazy. It's a crazy reality that here we are, a genre of music gone. Everybody's pointing fingers, but nobody's educating and teaching, right?
Yeah.
These kids on, okay, how we were taught. I watched some old cats in the studio.
They don't have nobody to watch though. That's the whole thing because it's gone.
The studios are
yeah.
gone.
It's gone.
Technology.
You
the
can think
roots
of.
are the only per se, and I'm speaking of, me, I'm a band guy, so I'm speaking of in terms of bands. So the Roots are I believe, the only African American heritage band that's signed to any major label, Def Jam,
Yeah.
and they're backing up Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
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 It's crazy because we have to understand that if an organization is going to represent a band and have a band on their label, they have to be able to sell records. So it's also society, like you said, people read that article and nobody responded. It's also society's responsibility. But I think it's important for us to usher people into changing their palates, because their palates right now have been watered down from what we're talking about, have been watered down to accept this fusion of music. So
And it's okay.
and that's okay. That's okay. But that's kind of like if someone's used to eating bland food all their life and they
Right.
taste some food that is slamming, they're like, ooh, I don't like this.
Right.
But if they keep tasting a little bit of that slamming food, eventually their palate begins to change.
Right.
Just like when you went from eating processed foods to organic foods, you pick up a piece of processed food and you can smell the stuff, before you even put it in your mouth,
Right.
the stuff that's artificial. So I think it's important for artists like yourselves to not back down, like continue to put your music out, to
Right.
continue to do what you're doing. And over time, just the same way it evolved, it didn't happen overnight.
Right.
We're talking about it, but
it'll
it didn't
be
happen
slow.
overnight. Over time, I think sometimes there becomes this infinite evolution of coming back, just like how bell bottoms came back,
Right.
and women wearing pin curls in their hair came back. So doing what you guys do, creating great
Well,
music.
it's a circle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a circle of life, and there's nothing new under the sun. We totally get it.
Yeah.
But it's, and just to add on to what those lovely words, it's just, we have to be conscious of the moment. We're and living in the mystery. You know what I mean? We have to be conscious of what's happening to adjust, right, our course.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times the money has been the driving force for a lot of not only everybody in the world, in the United States like anybody else, but in our music game. So there are young cats who want to be superstars before they put in the work, before they have any knowledge
Right.
of, and that's all because what they see on TV.
Right. They want to get right to that.
They see the TV, and the TV says, "You see those sprinkles everywhere?
All
the
that
ice.
bling, all the ice.
Right.
I can have that. I'm there right now, and don't have to." But you think about the '60s and the music in the '60s. Not only did they do chitlin circuits, and travel all around the country, right? They put in so much work in the studio, coming up with some of the most incredible records, and then they took it to the people, right? They didn't automatically think that they were there until they were there. And everybody knew that they were there, and he was like, yeah, they're there. Not somebody who wasn't there, just came on the scene and, barely sold XYZ record. You're not trying to hate on them. We want to congratulate you. But you ain't did shit. You haven't done anything. You haven't. You have a ways to go and a lot of learning to do. Respect that. And then where are the men that's going to be teaching them and waking them up like, hey, slow down, little fella. And then told you, it's just like, you have a kid. Kid want to do something. You like, no. It ain't time for that right now. What the kid do? Oh, I want to do it. I want to, come on, give me a break. Please. Come on. I'm almost, I'm grown almost. You let them do it. They fuck up.
Yes.
And then there you go. But that was their lesson.
There you go.
But then the man is there to teach the lesson, to say, look, I'm not trying to, everybody make so-called mistakes. There's no such thing as, as a mistake from that perspective, but it's all a life lesson. And if a man is there to teach them that life lesson, that's the beauty of the whole, it's a circle. What brings it back around, men teaching these little youngins, like, yo, and women teaching men. I mean, these little, instead of women teaching these little boys, they can teach and stay focused on their little princesses. And like, look, let me show you how to be a lady. I can't teach you, this little boy, how to be a man.
Yeah, exactly.
So here we go. We have a dichotomy of chicken noodle soup mixed with all kind of stuff, and it's just a combination of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you got a hodgepodge of stuff going on.
No
real distinction.
Right.
No. So we're still waiting for
Dr. Coleman.
Dr. Coleman to come on here.
Booker T.
Book T. Coleman.
I was waiting for this one. This was like, he's a hero to me. He may not want me to, be like that, whatever. But his educational, his process and how he, breaks down, like the purpose of modern day education. Why are we really in the classroom right now? Why are we allowing our kids to be taught something like, say for instance, if you knew a school and you believed in the Bible and whatever you believed in, and you knew that school was teaching something against that, you wouldn't send that kid there. You know what I'm saying? There are people who wouldn't do it. They'd be like, nah. Say for instance, they was teaching Satanism.
Yeah.
And then the parents wouldn't what? The parents were like, no, you're not going there because of the perception of Satanism and the whatever. But they don't know the same thing is going on. It ain't Satanism. It's worse.
I'm like, what is happening?
It's worse going on in the schools because our kids are not being taught. The dropout rate is astronomical that's going on. Granted, there are more kids that's in college than there is in jail from an urban perspective, from Afrocentric perspective, which is good.
You meant the other way around, more in jail and college?
No, there are more African men in college than there is. I used to think the other way around, but it's not. There are more African American men in college than there is in prison.
Encouraging.
I really think it's the parents' responsibility.
It's a community.
It is a community. It is a community, but let's break it down.
Parents, yo.
It is I have a kid. My child is in college. He is in an institution. He is in college. Carnegie Mellon.
It starts
third year.
on the inside.
It starts
Right
at
there.
home.
At home.
We can talk about what the school is teaching your kid, but if you are not teaching them that at home, that is when we have a problem.
We have
we cannot just keep blaming it. I don't think I can blame it totally on the educational system. So if there's a new system that needs to come into play, parents need to school their children.
Good point.
No, I'm with you on that, though.
The
And I'm a
education
parent.
system to be the parent, right?
You got a girl or a boy?
I have a son who is his third year at Carnegie Mellon University.
Yes.
Wow.
There you go.
Where's the stadium
Congratulations.
clap for that?
Let me get it ready. Please.
Thank you.
John
Stand up and
Jay.
make a righteous noise, why don't you?
All right.
No, that's some real good stuff. Hey,
That's the
Shock,
thing.
what's happening, man?
Well,
Daddy Rich is
We have a
joined us.
mystery guest who just popped on the mic tonight.
oh, there he is.
No,
There he is.
this is Atlanta Rich tonight.
This is Atlanta Rich.
What's up?
You know,
What up, man?
We want to.
Just flew in from Atlanta.
All right, Atlanta Rich.
And
Atlanta
boy,
Rich.
are my arms tired. I gotta tell you.
I'm trying to tell you, all that flat.
A lot of work.
He didn't say that. He didn't commit with that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Boys, it's
Why not?
always
It always
time.
works for the audience out there. Shock, you got a great show going on tonight, man.
Oh man, I want to thank you and the staff for letting us,
Yeah.
really
Sorry,
go longer.
Don't go there, man.
No,
What
whatever.
staff? You mean like my
I'm talking about
staff
the-
of
No, not
interns and
Your staff.
associates? Yeah, I don't know what staff you're talking about because I'm Atlanta Rich. I just flew in right now.
That's Atlanta Rich.
And once again,
Atlanta
man,
Talk
are my
Live.
arms tired.
Doggone.
Anyway,
his staff. His arms
did we
are
clarify this issue about the ratio of black men in prison to black men in college?
tired. Yeah, they're more. Black
I heard you
men.
say Africans,
There are
and there's
more,
a whole lot of Africans in college. We know that.
right. There are more black men.
And I understand
in
the caller
college.
on the line
Yeah.
wanted to correct you and check you on that. Caller, are you still there?
Yes.
And what, you think there's more brothers in prison than college?
I didn't know.
Oh, well, let's get you informed.
School us.
The mere
Atlanta
notion
Rich.
that there are more black men in prison than college, and for us as black people to believe that, begins with the foundation
Preach.
that we believe that more of us are criminals
Preach.
and criminal minded than we are education minded and educated.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
So let's start with that
Yeah,
premise
yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Amen.
Now, I don't believe in conspiracies or nothing like that, and this Willie Lynch nonsense and all of that old crap.
Stop that.
I don't even believe in that.
Okay.
It is what we believe about ourselves.
First
so
and
the
foremost.
statistics show that there always been more black men in college than in prison. So let's dispel that myth right off the top.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and dispel that myth. You're tuned
Absolutely.
in to the Shock Factor here on LA Talk Live. I'm
The
your
only
host,
reason I
Shaquem
came in
Williams.
this room
It's the
here,
spell.
man, I just flew in from Atlanta.
And he just, Atlanta
And,
Rick.
in case you didn't know,
Atlanta
my
Ricky
arms are
Rick.
mighty tired.
His arms is very
Anyway,
tired. I used
so,
to
yeah.
think. Atlanta Rick, AR,
Rich.
Hey, y'all.
AR. I used to think that there were more, because we're told so many things and we have not yet.
That we subscribe to, sign
able-
on to,
yeah.
co-sign,
Right.
and believe in.
Yeah.
And look at each other like,
Yeah.
look at that fella there. I bet, I say fella, I want to say,
Right.
Yeah.
look at that fella there. I bet he ain't never been to college and don't even know.
Yeah.
That we don't get represented and respected for our college education as a community of people. All those black people who got whipped during the 1960s, you can best believe that as soon as they got home and nursed their wounds, the first thing they thought about is, I'm sending my child to college. So they ain't got to get their asses whipped like I just got mine. So
and-
respect our ancestors and all the hard work they put in to build the Tuskegees and the Morehouses and
Morehouses
the
and
Clarks and the,
Browns.
come on, man.
But you ask yourself, I wanted
Yeah.
Big ups
Vegas.
out to your alma mater, Central State.
Central State University.
Same university as my
Yeah.
main man, Freddie Williams. I call him Freddie Boom Boom. Big ups to Philadelphia
Freddie
tonight.
Boom
Word.
Boom.
One of the things I wanted, Dr. Coleman to speak on, right, is
Wait, we got Dr. Coleman on the line?
No, I
Oh,
wish he
okay.
was.
That's all right.
But he's supposed to have been coming, and I think traffic and whatever. But I can talk about this because I've watched and learned a lot of this, and we talk about the assimilation. Like we can have what we have, but are we doing us, or are we doing an assimilation of what we've been taught? And what does that mean? Let me turn down this music. For a minute. I love that song right there. That was so that was Saba Saba. Did somebody give us something to keep their businesses and for us to keep working for them? Or are we or did we take control of our own, like for instance in the Harlem Renaissance? And when we had stores on every corner and stuff like that, for the most part, money was in the community about at least 7 to 8 times, at least. Now we're operating on zero. Kids' education, the dropout rate is super alarming in the urban community, right? and we ask ourselves, have we been assimilated and given tools for us to do somebody else to keep their commerce going, right? Or have we, in some way or form or fashion, like, LA Talk Live?
Right on time.
LA Talk Live. Thank you, man. LA Talk Live, and you know what they've done.
Shock.
He's pointing at nigga. Hey.
Oh my.
Do it again. Come on,
That was
Life.
an
Show,
inside.
go ahead, Life. Go ahead, show.
Oh, that was a good one right there. Yeah, I got you right there.
I got you right there, boy.
Give 'em
Back
away.
on track.
But
Have we assimilated,
have we assimilated, like, for instance,
integrated?
and we integrated, for instance, LA Talk Live, is a radio station that started from in somebody's apartment.
Hey, forget all of that. It's
No.
black and brown.
Okay, we
Feel me?
know what it is.
Black and brown people got together, got this started, man.
And
I heard the story, man. I know the owner.
tell us about the story right quick.
No, I
Atlanta
don't
Rich.
know all that. I can't
You know
go
a little
there,
bit.
but what I'm
Okay,
trying
I
to
know
tell
more
you,
than you do. So look, Atlanta Rich, I know more than you.
what
So
I'm trying to tell you is
Alright,
look at here now.
and they started this station, and this is maybe out of the 2% that are, that's black owned in America. This is part of the 2%. But these numbers have stayed the same since 140 years. These numbers haven't changed. It's still only, are we assimilated to work for somebody?
That's just simply not true. I can't.
Look at the numbers. Look at the facts.
I can't
That's
subscribe. to
2%.
that,
I don't either.
Listen what I'm saying. There's two. Listen. Look at my face.
I see you.
There's
brother. So do I.
in
Unfortunately.
in 1854,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
Here's the story. There was over 285,000 free Africans on the shores of America, right? And those 280 owned a 0.5% of the nation's wealth. In 1854, before they started the Bang Bang.
And not just before they started the Bang Bang, but before most of America was even discovered.
So-
nobody had gone west.
So
That deep west.
No, we was
there
down
was
south.
no Los Angeles in
Well, probably not.
1854. There was no Nevada
So-
in 1854. So when you look at the amount of slaves they brought to this country in comparison to the nation's population at that time, most definitely, because we all know that the people who brought them slaves here wasn't going to get up and do the work they damn selves.
But my point-
So they brought a whole lot of slaves here.
My point is there was 4.5.
And maybe some of us got away and started buying up some of the land,
Well,
and
they-
maybe we got a percentile of 4.5%, whereas now, as those numbers have been diluted
Think about
by
it.
so many factors, including whether one is considered black or white in America based
Right.
on his parentage.
Right. It's not about the color, but look at the numbers. It's staggering. Right. There was 4.5 million slaves at that time. Right. Okay. There's over 40 million of us right now.
So that means there's 40 million slaves. Don't you understand?
I
What
think
part
I'm-
of the slave
And-
game don't you get?
And it's not. And the
Unless
numbers
you
are
built your own boat and floated it back
Exactly.
to Africa, you're still a
And-
slave
exactly. So my point is that the numbers hasn't changed.
in your mind.
2%.
I ain't
2%
I'm
of the African American community
Mm-hmm.
own their own stuff, meaning that 98% work for somebody else. It was 99% in 1854.
All I know is all those numbers are ridiculous to me.
And who gives a damn?
It's just
In your own
ridiculous.
little microcosm of who you are and what your grussel is about. Grinding, hustle,
It's
grussel.
ridiculous.
You get it?
So are you
Right,
hustling
hustle,
back? The whole
hustle.
thing is, are you hustling backwards?
My question is, who's
Stay in front of that
teaching-
mic, sister. You sound so
Who's
good. yeah.
teaching
There you
our?
go.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate
Speak
it. I'll
to
stay in the
mic, why
zone.
don't you?
Okay, I'm speaking to the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Show you right.
My question is, who is teaching our children to become their own bosses? And that's something that's missing.
We are. Come
Well-
here on
well,
Sundays at 2
okay,
p.m.
I get
and
it.
watch Kids Talk Live.
I get that,
Right?
and you are doing that.
He's part of
But-
the 2%.
Damn lie.
And no, this is fabulous. But when you're talking about so many other people who are working for corporate America, I think it's starting from the children. They grow up and think I have to go work for corporate America.
You got to go to college to go work for corporate
And
America.
I don't have a problem with college. I do not have a problem with college. But I think
You have a
that-
problem with working for corporate America?
No, I have a problem with
Even if corporate America is black, brown, white,
No,
yellow,
I do not
red.
have a problem with working for
Do you
corporate
know how
America.
wealthy Native Americans are right now? And
Very.
you mean to tell me that one of those loan companies they work for, and they offered you
I
a
have
position
no
as
problem.
VP
I
of the
just-
West Coast region and give you 6 figures? Do you have a problem with corporate America then?
Excuse me,
my
AR.
sister?
Excuse me, AR. You need to
Atlanta,
listen. Listen to what I am trying to say, darling.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you want to ruffle my feathers,
No, I
but
don't.
darling, let's just listen. So I do not have a problem with corporate America, but when people live in a state of oppression and fear, you need to think outside the box. And a lot of people don't even realize they're in a box. So that's that's the question I ask.
Jack was stuck in a box.
That's the question I ask when somebody says, "Oh, I'm getting laid off," or "I don't have a job," and it's like, why don't you go find something that you love and create a business, turn it, twist it, create it to work for you, and that is possible.
Hello.
And I
here-
commend
that's
you
what, that's what Atlanta
for
Rich did.
Oh,
teaching
knock it off.
the
No,
children.
knock it off. Now.
Stadium
now.
clap.
No,
Stayed
no.
on
Who,
this
me?
stadium
No,
clap.
no.
What you gotta
do?
No,
Stayed on this
no.
Russell.
Oh, go on.
Russell.
Oh, go on. No. Listen,
Come
hold
on,
on,
AR,
hold on.
bring it to me.
The one most important lesson I learned in my early path of entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurship and business ownership is not for everybody.
It's not.
Because if it were, then who in the devil is going to work for me?
Yeah, no, we need employees. We do
Right.
need employees.
And we need employers as well.
I
You know?
agree.
And I think the real challenge for us, particularly here as black folks in America, is to stand up and take the role, responsibility, and incredible weight of becoming the next IBMs, the next Time Warner Cables, the next Clear Channels, because they're not going to last forever.
Yeah.
And so who is willing to stand up? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. The crown, rather. I put a D on that crown, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. The crowned, those who are crowned, meaning, they already got their crown, right?
Right.
Bottom line being, we got to step up, stand up, and be a little bit more responsible about our future
Yes.
and not blame other people and
It's not
oppression
blaming
And that is
and
my
all this
point.
other stuff.
Yes, that is
See,
my point.
okay,
Yeah, I
let
got
me-
that.
let me
I know
say-
we're on the same page, sister. I know we are.
Let me say this. It's
You little love addict, you. I've been checking you out online.
I'm so in love
Cute
with
too.
love.
Radio-
I thought I heard you was married though, right?
No.
No?
yeah, she's
Word?
been married for 3 years, Richard. So anyway,
I'm not
my
married
Atlanta Rich.
yet.
So I'm not saying this to blame. My point is we have to take onus,
Okay.
right? If we don't
What
take,
is onus?
we have to take the awareness of this is ours.
You know what onus means?
It
It's
means
ours.
crowned it.
Nope.
We have to
What?
Do
responsibility.
you know what an onus is? ONUS.
Right.
I don't mean to be etymological. Yeah. I don't mean to get into etymology with you, right? But onus, the word translates to burden.
Yeah, it's not a burden.
One's onus is one's burden.
Exactly.
Look it up. I can prove it to you.
And we have to take
So
that.
if we have to take the onus, then that means we got to take the burden of our own futures, our own destinies, our own challenges.
We have to take
Why can't we just
charge.
be?
No, we got to take
Why does it have to
charge.
be a burden?
That ain't
onus,
enough.
onus also remains
Animals be.
responsibility too.
Bees be,
Right.
plants be,
And bees
trees
get stuff
be.
done.
Yeah.
And trees grow.
But humans,
and oaks grow.
but humans, that's a whole nother level of life.
It is, but
Well,
I
I mean, they're like trees too. We grow.
my only point is I don't think it has to be a burden.
All life grows.
It just has to be.
It's a
It's-
responsibility.
moving.
I'm only playing semantics with you. It's really just a matter of words.
It's
You're right.
responsibility.
He said onus. I'm just
Onus is
Holding his foot to the
responsibility,
fire.
liability, right? It's burden, right? All those things account for onus,
risk.
but it's about I look at when I say the word onus, I mean responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
right? We can't. I'm with you 100%. We can't be blaming.
Of course you are.
You know,
We work together here at
Right.
the station. I just fly in every now and then, and when I do,
I'm with you.
my
'cause-
arms are very tired.
So tired. You should see him. He got the arms of Hulk Hogan.
Knock it off.
Yeah, his arms look like Petey Wigstrom.
That flat.
Popeye.
His arms look like Petey Wigstrom. But look, All I want to say, y'all remember Petey Weekstraw, right? No, maybe.
No, sorry.
Okay, before your time.
He had big arms, in case y'all didn't know.
So if we don't take charge of our own of our own lives, then who is going to do it?
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. Those numbers can mean anything they want to mean. It don't mean nothing until we start taking responsibility. And that's all I'm saying. You know, there are numbers to say that, look, y'all ain't moved. Y'all think y'all didn't move because y'all done got some more bling bling going on. But y'all don't got no bling bling going on. It's all given because once they ready to put it back in the box on you, it's going back in the box.
Bam.
That box thing y'all talking about, man.
So you trying to say that when Wall Street crashed, when the housing bubble happened,
I swear to
so-called,
goodness, it didn't have no impact on me whatsoever.
I was gonna say, I know
was
a lot-
already broke.
Oh, but I
I couldn't feel it none whatsoever.
That
The
is
only thing I
hilarious.
thought to myself is, now white folks understand what it's like to be black in
know
America.
they feel my pain.
You know what I'm saying? Come on,
Y'all
bro.
are so
No impact
bananas.
whatsoever.
That's funny.
None. Right? Didn't bother me none. I'm like, shit, I'm already broke. I ain't lost a dime. Barry Madoff, bet. Because he mostly
Right.
swindled Jewish, wealthy people.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, but
There ain't a single brother who he owed money to, because you could best believe he wouldn't have made it to the penitentiary. If Barry Madoff had a Madoff with a brother's $1 billion,
Oh.
he wouldn't have made it to court.
No.
I mean, but there were still
They'd
a
have
lot
had
of
him
middle
hipped up in
class.
North Philly
brother
somewhere,
ain't
like
gonna
with a
give-
gun to his
A
head.
brother ain't gonna give him
Anyway,
that much
so
money.
that didn't impact us.
But there were still middle
I
class.
can't give you that much.
Al Qaeda doesn't target us. The terrorists ain't mad at you, nor were the Vietnamese. They told our brothers in that war, soul brother, this ain't your battle. Go on home. You feel me?
They said it.
This state problem, man. And if you don't believe in nothing else and you've ever read the Bible, in the message of the Bible where the last shall become first and the first shall become last, well, we're living in that time. That's why it's so important for us to take the responsibility. Because now the last coming first.
Let me ask you
and
a
even
question.
Barack Obama says, you are the change you've been waiting on.
Yeah.
Let me
What
ask,
else do you
was
need?
Gandhi.
Well, thank you.
Sorry.
Originally, but
Zombie.
Gandhi.
I didn't
not
hear
Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Oh.
I don't speak Indian.
Zombie.
I heard Barack.
Gandhi was he didn't like black people. So anyway,
Oh Lord,
Whatever.
have mercy.
He
Gandhi
But he
was
still
black.
said be
No.
the change you want to be.
Right, I was
Gandhi,
gonna say,
he was
wasn't
in,
Gandhi black?
Gandhi was
He was
Indian,
Indi- well,
and he
shit.
didn't like black.
Well, ask white folks how they felt
The
about Gandhi.
change.
He ain't white. He black. I
I'm
don't
just
like
saying,
him.
Gandhi
I'm sorry.
said
My
it.
only point is
He said it.
Some of my
my
best
only
friends
point
said
is
it
be the
himself.
change
I don't
you
like
want to
black
be.
people.
That's right.
Well, yeah.
You know,
great
and we
message,
are.
Great
Whoever
message,
said
and
it.
that's
And we are now.
Yeah.
So step up, everybody.
It's not a color about black or
It's not
white.
even about black or white
It's
no
not
more.
about
It's
brown,
not.
green, or it's not about
it's
color.
about the message, and it's about, like I said, just being proactive.
Exactly. We need to help
No.
each other. We need to
Yeah.
all somehow come together because pretty soon it's not going to be about color anymore. That was one tool that they used. Now it's going to be about the haves and the have-nots.
It's always been about.
You know, no, it's really because now the credit, once they start dibbling and dabbling with this money, and there's more based on credit, it's going to be about those who have and those who don't.
Now, see the part about that part. See that part of the story is what I really like, because most of the folks I know have not. Right, so I can stay right in my zone with the have-nots, and we can plot a whole new future. Because again, the Bible says,
There it is.
and must I repeat, the first shall become last, and my promise from my God is that the last shall become first. So I'm gonna stay with the have-nots right now. Right? Because I know our turn is coming. I ain't worried about that.
The meek shall inherit the earth.
I'm not worried about the have and have not war. I'm not worried about what they're doing and how they're oppressing me.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I'm not worried about the need for us to come together,
Yeah.
because there's 4 of us, 5 of us. There was 6. He just got on the bus. And there was a gang of people who came together here. Black, white, all day long. Latino. This is where it happens. Can we take the responsibility? Are you, my sister, go and get up and do something? No, I'm only kidding. Channeling my inner.
Responsibility.
We already got you. You're already on the mothership.
All right, you're already here. How did you get How did you get on board? You were beamed up on the mothership.
Where did you
Beaming
meet
up
these
Scotty.
guys? That's the question Atlanta Rich wants to know.
Go ahead, you can tell.
How'd you wind up here?
We met at the Build Up Pepper Chambers play
I heard about that.
in the
Off the
Hollywood
chain.
Hills, and it was
Round of
off
applause for
the
that, please.
chain.
Round of applause.
We
Yes,
got to
please.
no. We got to give
It was
them
unbelievable.
a stadium applause.
Unbelievable.
Who the hell? There's only one person in the stadium?
There you go. Do the wave. Do the wave. Do the wave. Do the wave.
Not
Do
gonna
the
happen.
wave.
All right,
Yeah,
so I heard
so
that was off
we
the chain.
met.
Please
It was-
give us a quick review of what happened there
Oh, it was amazing.
in the winning moments.
In the winning moments, it was in a couple's home, and it was very voyeuristic. All the audience was in the room. We're
Fully
in the
engaged,
room.
I heard.
Yes, fully engaged in the room with them the entire time.
Then the orgy broke out, I heard.
Yeah.
They
it was-
actually
people
had
got
sex in the
naked.
bathroom, but we
Word.
could not follow them there.
All right, cool.
Yeah. But I was.
Um,
Any of this on
But
camera?
I
on
almost,
YouTube?
I almost tried to follow them in
Oh,
there.
okay.
People were like, "You,
You
can't
wanted
go
to
in there." I
have
was
sex
like,
on there?
"Oh, oops."
Come on, give me a chance.
No, I'm
No,
sorry.
I
I'm
would-
joking,
no,
of course. But
no.
I'm joking.
In the
of course. But
champagne
I heard
room.
it was off the chain. Shock, David, Life went.
Yes.
They said it was wonderful.
It was amazing because it was a total pattern interrupt in the sense of what you're used to in theater. You know, people are used to a
Pattern
certain.
interrupt. That's wow.
Yeah, I
Unique.
I talk with a coach, and her name
I
is
like
Dallas
it.
Travers,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
but
I like it.
pattern interrupt were because you're so used to sitting in the audience and kind of sort of engaging, maybe a little bit engaging, you know. But then when you were in that home, you were engaged.
You was very engaged.
Yeah.
I was like more engaged than I've ever been.
Yes,
Like I was like,
you were in their face, mouth open, eyes open.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
And then some people would leave a room. Part of the actors would leave the room, and so you could follow them, or you could stay in the room and watch what was going on there. It was just unlike anything you've ever experienced before, and I liked that.
Your first time?
My first time, yes.
Wow. I know Shocks as well. Life,
Yeah.
no doubt, right?
Yeah.
First time.
And I will totally
No
go
doubt.
back again. If
Definitely,
yeah.
if they said we were going to do it tomorrow,
Yeah.
I would have been there.
yeah.
And I know that they're going to be doing another one called The Breakdown or something. Pepper will probably post it, but
Yeah.
she
We're
will
gonna
be
have her
doing
come
another
back
one
on.
soon.
Yeah. And you got a play that's coming up Tuesday at 8:00 at Theater, 5041 Pico Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90019.
Cross Street.
La Brea.
La Brea.
About 2
Wow.
blocks west of La
Down
Brea.
the street
Okay.
from the from Roscoe.
Roscoe.
Across the
Roscoe's.
street from Comedy Union, down the street from Roscoe's.
I got you. I know exactly where that is.
We may have to
Evolution
go
of a love.
check that out. You know?
Have you been over to Roscoe's Media Center yet?
No.
There's a radio station back there.
There's a radio station right next door to Theater
Right,
in
exactly.
a restaurant. Oba Baba
In the
Tunde,
back.
yes.
Go back
I've been
there and holler at them. Yeah, I asked you that, but you
Yeah.
said no.
No, you
Stop
said
lying.
Roscoe's.
Stop lying. It's Roscoe's Media Center is the name of the radio station.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, Roscoe's owns it. Roscoe's
But I
Media
can't remember
Center.
the name of the restaurant. It's an upscale restaurant with a nice bar.
Our good friends from Reach Around Radios over
I
there.
Oh, really?
I
Claudia
love-
Jordan, big ups to Speedy,
I
TDP,
love that
All right.
place.
OG Poetess. They're over there at the
Yes, OG
Roscoe's Media
Poetess.
Centers, right?
I met her. at Oba.
Doing Reach Around Radio, and then
Mhm.
Oba Baba Tundi, I heard
Yep.
was there. They got some great broadcasters over there.
Yeah.
So big ups out to Roscoe's Media Center,
Big
Reach
ups.
Around Radio, all our
Book,
friends
book,
over
book,
there.
book. Big up.
See, he was talking about 2%, right? He ain't even recognizing the extra 1%. That's a full 1% over there at Roscoe's Media
and
Center.
you the other
That's-
1%?
Well, that no,
Right.
there's somebody alongside of us,
Right.
so that's 3%.
Oh.
And I guarantee you, if we drill down, it's probably about 7 to 11%.
No.
Where
2011.
there's so many of us out here doing our thizzle,
Yeah, but
and it
That's
came
our
together
thizzle.
here tonight, and it's happening all over the city.
I'm
It's a
so
beautiful
excited to be
thing.
here, and
Yeah,
I
don't
thank
believe the
you.
hype. Yeah,
All over.
round of
We-
applause for Shock.
We want to.
Yeah.
I'm always on
no,
time for
no,
Shock
yeah.
M.
Yeah, he was like walking away, going, "You want to be on the show? Kind of, sort of. Okay, I'll hit you up."
Word. That's that old player stuff. Yeah.
And I was
you,
like, "Yeah,
boo.
whatever."
I got you, boo. You cute.
But then he actually
Yes,
said
Tony,
that.
they did. But no, really, we had a great time tonight. We was
We
waiting
did.
for
Not gonna happen.
the Shock Factor can go on for 4 hours. I got a lot of shit, but I know
Man,
you.
I
Bye-bye.
told you Booker T. Washington was not going to make it to your show tonight. I told you that. I said, Booker T. Washington, come on, man. He gone. But you ain't believe me.
I said Booker T, but I meant Booker T. Coleman.
Oh, my bad.
Booker
Oh, I
T.
thought you meant Booker T. Washington.
I meant
I don't know
Booker
about
T.
him, but I could. I told you a long time ago, Booker T. Washington ain't going to
Booker.
make it.
He ain't gonna be able to make it, man.
Yeah,
He
ain't
been
gonna be able to
gone
make
for a
it.
long time.
I'm so upset because I was really wanting to see
Sorry,
him
Rick.
because
Yeah.
I was telling you once again, guys, you guys don't understand about this education. If Booker T was coming on the set, he would have just very well explained to everybody a lot of the things and myths, educational myths and tools that were embedded in our brain. You know, as when we were little kids and we were, you know, a lot of us watched a lot of TV, a lot of us watched a lot of stuff, and we were programmed, right? And a lot of us deprogrammed ourselves. We unplugged ourselves from, you know, from the matrix to a degree, but we still live in it every day. We still work in it every day. We still have to do all the things that we have to do, but consciously we came to the point where we're going to do something for ourselves. We're going to do something, get out here and do something for, you know, for you, for me, blah, 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 and help that add on to the rest of the community. But not knowing that some of that programming is still in your brain, right? Some of it is still there. And until it's totally dispelled, right? Until it's totally eradicated out of your brain, you know, we're going to be walking around, continue walking around as slaves, unfortunately, as workers. Slave workers, not color or anything like that, but economic slaves.
Not me.
And that means you, sister.
I know.
I'm too free.
You might as well give up now.
No.
Well, it's not about, and it's not about,
Give us free.
it's all about educating ourselves. We go back to there, educating yourself on whatever you want to do for yourself. Because like Richard said, everybody is not going to be a chief. Everybody can't be a chief.
Can
Yeah.
we give a round of applause for Richard? He just left the room.
There you go,
That's,
Richard.
That's my namesake. What's up, Rich?
Come on, Richard.
Hey, Richard.
See you later, Rich. But like
AR.
you know, but AR was saying, you know, Atlanta Richie was saying that, you know, everybody can't be a chief. You know, I understand
that's
that.
true.
That's so true.
And everybody don't need to be. Again, that's why I say it's for us who are conscious at a higher level to take responsibility, become the next major Fortune 500 companies of this country, and take on the heavy onus of freedom, because freedom ain't free. The first cost of freedom, in case you want to know,
It's
'cause
freedom
ain't free.
itself.
No, the first cost of freedom is self-discipline.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Word.
Word.
I
That
made
goes
that up
back to a
myself.
love addict.
Ding, ding.
Word to your mother. It's
You
about
a
mind
love
creating
addict,
new
you.
mind maps.
I'm
Yeah,
curious
the
about
love
that.
addict. You curious? How curious are you?
Oh, well, you know.
Look at her face. How curious are
I
you?
tell you how curious I am. Like from here to the front door when my girlfriend comes and starts whooping ass.
Yeah. No, when my boyfriend comes.
Right,
and
right,
starts
okay, right. Whooping
ass.
ass. When whooping my ass, which wouldn't be good because I'm pretty. So, you know.
That's why they call him
Or,
Pretty Atlanta Rich.
I'm just handsome.
Yeah.
But listen, I want to say thank you. I listened to the show earlier. The only reason that I wanted to get on the mic tonight, and thank you very much, Shaquem Williams, for allowing me to come and share my point of view,
Of course.
is that I heard people talking about this thing with there are more black men in prison than there is in college. And that is a myth in our community
yeah.
that is perpetuated for a lot of years. And there was a documentary done by a brother who proved that and many other urban legends, myths wrong. And whenever I hear that, I feel the burden, the onus to speak to that lie
Yeah,
and do my part to dispel it.
and that's important.
And thank you very much,
Absolutely.
both of you, Life
Yes.
and you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Dixon.
Yes.
Very nice for allowing me to share that
Thank
with
you
y'all
for
as
joining
We
well.
appreciate
and
it.
sharing.
And to the caller, thank you.
It's always
Thank you,
amazing.
Tony.
Caller, you still there?
Tony Love.
Is that my man Cognac?
I am.
It's Tony Tone.
Tony
Tony
Love. Tony Love. I was telling everybody about Tony Love and how, you know, when I met Tony, he's one of the best, you know, musicians that I met in my life. He's toured with some of the most incredible. He's on probably 11 platinum gold records, you know, performing, producing, writing his stuff. And we were just talking about this today about, you know, taking responsibility of our, you know, what's that we can be responsible for. You know, we can't be responsible for everybody else and what they're doing.
Can't be responsible for you, Tony Love. I'm sorry, man.
But we can't be
With a
responsible.
last name like Love, you on your own there, young brother. Can't be responsible for you, man.
Tony Love. So what's up? You got any shouts out before we go ahead and clear the deck?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to everyone in Shock Factor Land.
Yeah.
Watching the show, keep watching, keep supporting.
Where's he
keep
calling in
listening,
from?
Keep learning.
Atlanta.
From the
You know,
A.
I'm even learning today.
From where you just
I
came
got
from.
corrected twice.
Tony Love, what up, man? This is Atlanta Rich, man. I just flew from Atlanta, man.
That's Atlanta.
Man,
And did they tell you
His
my arms are
so
really tired?
Oh my.
All that flat.
That works all night.
But good deal.
Tony Love. Tony Love got a song he did out. It's called King of Pop. I'm gonna go ahead and play that right now while we got that in here
Play that while we shout
and
out.
stuff out. Any shouts out? You want to give any more shouts
Well,
out?
before y'all do all of that, Atlanta Rich got to go
No,
because I'm about to fly out back to Atlanta.
Oh,
Bye, Atlanta
Rich.
Rich.
And my arms are already tired. So I got to go. Thank you very much for having me on.
hey, thank you, Atlanta Rich.
Atlanta
Thank you, Atlanta Rich. I will give you the clap, but it went away.
That's okay. I just did my Pope sign. So
Yes, you did.
Let's
All
give
right.
it up for
Pope,
Atlanta
I'm
Rich.
out.
Let's give it up for Atlanta Rich from flying in. His arms are so tired that he don't know what to do with
safe
himself.
travel, safe travel.
Oh yeah,
Big
Tony.
ups.
Tony Love.
Yes,
Big ups.
Okay, you're still there. Okay, cool.
I'm still here.
I wanted to go ahead and play some of that King of Pop. Yeah,
Tribute to Michael Jackson.
tribute to Michael Jackson, one of the most awesome, incredible, and a lot of people don't understand Michael either. I don't want to go into this whole long thing about it, but Michael Jackson took control of his life, and he was out there talking about what was actually going on, and it's ironically that they put that stigma on him as he was messing with children, and he never was, but that's the stigma that they put on him. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of the greatest, artists.
The greatest.
Probably, if not the greatest. He's probably in the top 1.5.
Yeah.
At least. Of
I don't
whoever
even
did
think
it.
he needs to go in a category. Just
Right.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson
He sits
was Michael Jackson.
all the way over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's by
He was.
himself somewhere.
He
All
was.
the way over there.
So they put all this stigma out about him and that he did all this stuff, and he never did any of those things
Nah.
at all. But what he was doing was trying to take over his life, and then they try to torture him in the media and so forth and so on. So Tony, I'm glad that you did a tribute to Mike.
Big up.
We're playing it right now as we go ahead and give our shouts out before we go ahead and get on out of here. Life.
Yeah. Shout out to the Shock Factor, LATalkLive.com, and shout out to Mr. Tasha Dixon for sitting in with us today. I want to shout out.
Yeah,
I want
Tasha.
to shout out to Tony Love, Big E, C Busy. Shout out to my boy Terrence. Y'all check if y'all can. It's my buddy of mine that I went to college with. His name is Terrence
Shout out to
Halim.
David.
His name is Terrence Halim Hawkins, and he has a book that he just did that's on Amazon.com, and it's called Pieces of a Man: The Reconstruction of My
Peace of
Life.
a man.
Yeah, brother's been through a lot, and has a lot to say, and I think you'll be very
Gotta
inspired.
talk to him then.
Yeah, you'll be very inspired by his story. We're gonna try to get him on. He's out there in Atlanta. So Terrence, if you're out there listening, peace, my brother. I love you, my dude. And y'all support that book, Pieces of a Man: Reconstruction of My Life. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And y'all check out Life stuff. Like I said, I'm on SoundCloud, Mr. Life MC.
Yeah.
YouTube,
I
same
love it.
thing. Facebook, Twitter, same thing. Shout out to Shakim and the
Yeah.
Shock Factor
Yeah.
and David Brett,
Yeah.
the producer,
Second.
Yeah.
and Compassion Picks.
Yeah.
And I've talked enough.
Natasha, what else you got to say, Miss Dixon?
I am so honored to be here. So I thank both of you, Shaquem Life, Richard, AR from Atlanta, David.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have a huge shout out to all my solo artists out there. Capri, Baby
Okay.
Girl, she has a solo show coming up. My director, Michael Phillip Edwards, has solo show going on, Runt. So shout out to all my brave, risk-taking solo artists. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Once
right.
again,
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and say thank you, Natasha. I want to thank you for real for sticking with us for the 2 hours. I want to thank you've been incredible Once again, the whole Love Addiction. We're gonna have to come check that out.
Yay.
That's 5041 Pico Boulevard, Los Angeles, California 90019. If you want to go check out for tickets, go to evolutionofaloveaddict.com.
Yep.
www. That is.
No doubt.
I want to thank Life once again, my
pleasure.
partner in crime
Yes, always.
and peace. I would say my partner in peace and spreading love
Sweet.
and happiness to the world.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much for bringing in the heat. I want to thank my man Tony Love once again for always, giving us, the energy, the love, the passion of what it is to play a guitar.
Tony Love.
No, just joking. But I love you too, Tony. I want to thank David Brett, our producer. I want to thank Egypt in Atlanta, C Busy. I want to thank Atlanta Rich. I want to thank the staff of LA Talk Live. I want you to go ahead and check out my album on iTunes, I Am Human. Once again, I Am Human, Shakim and Project DNA. You can hear some of the songs that you heard tonight as well. I want to thank Dr. Coleman for wanting to come in.
For wanting to come in.
I want to thank him for wanting to come in. But, traffic here in LA is crazy as well. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank also for the build-up for meeting Latasha, having this chance.
Yeah, without a
maybe we
doubt.
can have her come on
Thank
some
you,
more,
darling.
maybe.
Thank you.
It's up to her
Yeah.
and whatever
It
her,
sounds like fun.
if her boyfriend will allow her to come back
Yeah,
on.
you have to come back,
I'm just
He's
saying.
down. He's down for the cause.
co-host with us.
Yeah,
I would
some
love that.
stuff. But once
Absolutely.
again, it's been another Friday. It's been a blessed Friday this Friday. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Shock Factor. Every Friday at 8 o'clock, we puts it down. We puts it all the way down.
Man, every
And we bring
Friday.
it back up. That's why we do it. We put it down just to bring it back up. And we're going to get back into... I love that clapping applause. Okay, guys. Stop it now, okay? Stop it right out here.
Too much.
Stop it. You guys are crazy. Jeez, oh, Pete. So anyway, at our new format, we're going to be bringing in more music business. We're going to be talking about consciousness as well. And we're going to be, performing here. So performers going to come here and perform and do all kind of stuff as well. So
Yeah.
we're going to get it in because we're going to really want to get educate our young adults. They're not kids, they're young adults, and even even toddlers or whatever. We want to bring them into an enlightened stage where they can be uplifted and get the right information to resonate the right frequencies as well. So once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Shock Factor here on LA Talk Live, reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasures. Next week it's going to be once again another blessed week. We're going to have an author coming in, McKinley, talking about some stuff. Carol hooked me up with him,
Okay.
ironically.
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to be getting it in once again. So thank you guys for tuning in
Tell them
to
whatever else you run into.
Right,
on the Shock Factor.
it's going down. This is a variety show, but it's all about music.
It's gonna always be some good music. You believe
Yeah.
that. I might
Oh,
have
yeah.
some new heat next week too.
Oh, there you go again. You been dropping it in every week.
Oh, sugar, sugar
I'm in
now.
my creative zone right now.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Shock Factor.
Thank you.
We
Thank
will see you next week. I'm going to go ahead and go out with this King of Pop.
You will.
Tony Love, thank you so much.
Tony Love.
Thank you,
You're
Tony Love.
welcome. I had a great time.
Thank you so much.
As usual.
We want you guys to have a great weekend. Have a great, if you celebrate whatever you celebrate it well and be careful.
Yeah, y'all be safe. out
You know
there.
what I'm saying? Be careful. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Same time, same sandbox here on the Shock Factor on LA Talk Live. I'm your host, Shakim Williams.
And I am Life.
And that was Natasha Dixon chilling
Thank
with
you,
us. Tony
Natasha.
Love, David Brett, Atlanta Rich. We are out of here. See you next week.
And he captivated all of us. The way he moved across the floor. Ooh, so much more. With the crazy dancing thing that the move's so unique. Better greater than all the rest. Remember, don't you forget who's off the wall. Michael Jackson and Thriller. Michael Jackson. Who's bad? Michael Jackson. Can you feel it? Michael Jackson. Dangerous. Michael Jackson. No one could drop. Michael Jackson. Haters dancing. Michael Jackson. King of pop. Michael Jackson. His voice. I wanna sing like baby, baby, and I'm stage. He is my leader. Better do work hard day and night, just like he did. You'll be starting something, baby. You can be old and still be a kid. So inspiring, one of a kind. No one took you higher than Mighty Mike. He raised a bar and brought us farther than we've ever been. A real superstar, the king. So remember, it's off the wall. Michael Jackson, and I'm feeling Michael Jackson. Who's bad? Michael Jackson, can you feel it? Michael Jackson, dangerous. Michael Jackson, no one could drop. Michael Jackson, haters dancing. Michael Jackson, king of pop. Catherine, Josie, B, Jackie, Tina, Jermaine, Barry, Miss Twin Family, then Michael, Barry, Janet, the Jackson Boys from Gary, Indiana, 2300 Jackson Street. Joe and Catherine raised their family. 9 children couldn't have been easy. Big Daddy worked and he still been while that work Tina would play on Stan's guitar until he broke the string. I heard Joe got angry, they told him not to mess with it. But Catherine said, look at them. She said, Joe, your family's talented. So he decided to form a band. Michael Jackson was fun man, learned how to dance, sing, and have a groove. And Michael became the best. Was off the wall. Michael Jackson, and I'm feeling Michael Jackson. Who's bad? Michael Jackson, can you feel it? Michael Jackson, dangerous. Michael Jackson, no one could drop. Michael Jackson, haters dancing. Michael Jackson, king of pop.
Let's bounce.
1, 2, 3. Let's go. Hip hop, bass, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. The greatest showman with the biggest heart. He really cared for the world. He didn't care to come apart. So this is a tribute to the greatest entertainer. Many were inspired by him. Chris Brown, Usher, and Leo, and Beyonce too. Justin Timberlake, Justin Bieber, so many more. Me and you, he left us with his music. Let me always play.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.